We'll chant Om together. Om. The sound of Om is combined with breath. It allows you to enter the cave of your heart, the temple of your soul. When you come more often, enter this cave of your heart. Can you raise up a little bit, please? As you enter this cave of your heart, often you come back to your body, come back to your prana, and reconnect with your soul often. When you live long, often through your mind, you abandon the cave of your heart and you live in a desert. You live life and live in the desert where there is no life. And all the rivers of your life disappear in that desert. Every time you are in pain, you are hurting, it's a cry of your soul to call you back home. Instead, you give relief to the cry rather than return back to the soul. Soul is not seeking relief, ego is. That soul is your home. And be at home in life, because that source is manifesting in life. Where you are, what you are doing, how you are being, is all the expression of the soul. Instead, it has become expression of your ego mind. That's not comfortable where you are, what you are doing, always planning for the better. And in the self-deception, you get lost. It is as simple as being where you are so totally that everything that you want in future appears in the present. That means God is omnipresent, as close as this moment is. But the temptations to solve the problems of memory, to get the fulfilled and fulfill the desires of the unfulfilled desires of the past, is all you are doing when you invest your life for future. Unfulfilled desire itself is the message that the desires cannot be fulfilled in future. Future is necessary when you live it in the present. And all that is necessary to be changed in future can only be changed in how you enter the present fully and totally. That's how simple life is. And just by moving into the past and future, the ego mind lives in the illusions of the problems and solutions. Jai Bapuji. Jai Bhagwan. Life is so simple. There are no problems. Only problem is we ignore the reality of who we are. That's the only problem. That is why ignorance of what we are is the only problem. We are undivided, omnipresent, divine presence. And undivided is whole, means wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you manifest the whole that you are. Means whenever you are, whatever you are doing, just be so total, so complete with all the body, entire body, senses, mind, thinking, feeling, doing, everything is in harmony. That simple. And when it is in disharmony, you see the problem in what you are doing or who you are with. You are out of harmony and you are seeing problem somewhere else. And then you go to change something else to be in harmony so that you will be total and undivided when you change the people, places and things. This is insanity of the ego mind, and you keep listening to it. When you listen to the voice of your soul, you will know no matter how much you change externally, what relationship, people, places, things, money, life, job, if you haven't yet learned how to be total and whole where you are, you have solved nothing whatsoever. So, and that doesn't mean you cannot be so totally and develop something that helps you to live in the future. What are you developing? Well, more money. Would that allow you to live in future happily? Better job, would it? New relationship, would it? None of that would allow you unless you learn how to be so totally present where you are. This is so mysterious for the ego mind, but so obvious to the soul. So unless you are purified in your body, mind, heart, you will not be able to retain what I just said. So what do? We purify our body, we purify our mind, we purify our heart. Why? How? By constantly practicing yoga, practicing breathing, proper diet, proper company, proper lifestyle. That's it. So as you purify your mind, how do you purify your mind? One thing, that every time you are disturbed, you hold somebody else responsible. What do you do to purify your mind? Let go of other as the one who disturbs you. Let go of the job that disturbs you. Go back. And that is impurity now you are seeing. That impurity of the mind sees problems where there are none. Now see that it is coming from you as a perceiver. Breathe, relax, and disconnect from the conditioned perceiver. See, that sees the conditions outside that are either for or against. That is the conditioned perceiver. So that conditioned perceiver is your impure mind. And that is your impure heart. Because you cannot love anybody because you haven't yet learned to accept yourself unconditionally. Who can accept unconditionally? Pure mind and pure heart. So as you dismantle all your distorted perceptions of life that is not doing good, job that is not doing good for you, relationship that is not doing, it's you, the perceiver, that sees it to be so. That perceiver is ignorant, distorted perceiver. What it perceives has no reality. It is you who superimpose situations of your perception of the past over the present and see everything that doesn't exist. This is so central that I keep telling you every day in different ways. Hopefully one day you will listen. But this is purifying of the mind. This listening is also part of the purification of mind. Then somebody else is having a hard time, and when you talk how to handle it, that is also purification of mind. Avoid removing these misperceptions, right? That's what we call counselor. And when you observe yourself, when you are caught in misperception, what is that? Purification of mind, purification of heart. That qualifies you to live in reality, because now the perceiver is purified. Now you can see without the judge, the misperceiving medium. So this is purification of heart, purification of the body, begins with diet, very simple on the most gross level. And begins with how you think about people, places, things, and yourself. And to observe all the time. Observe all the time. And you are doing that already, but make it a highest priority. That's it. And you have seen how you are able to dismantle the problems where you were creating problems for yourself by yourself. Now you are able to dismantle it. What a power! I mean, you don't need to change anybody, you just change yourself, and everybody is changed. Situations are changed. So, if you invest your energy into just changing a job, after you change the job, you haven't changed anything. Because the perceiver who is reacting to the situations is still there. The job is not changing anything. New relationship is not changing anything. Because in new relationship, you don't change. You just temporarily mask your perceiver so it changes in the newness. That's why newness is omnipresent. When you are present with what is as is, that is new. Did you hear that? What is as is? When you perceive as is, that's new. You don't bring the past stuff into the present, superimpose it, and see if it is as if it is present. So that is why, instead of saying all this, Patanjali will say, yoga is watching the modifications of mind. Same thing. Don't look at things with the modifications of mind, which are based on your pre-programmed past. Instead, see it as it is. And then you are avoiding so much nuisance that you are to yourself. That's what we're talking about. And self-observation, self-study can remove that. I cannot remove it. So you have to practice that every day. And your thoughts are so connected to your biology. Neuro-respiration connection. So your thoughts affect your respiration. It affects your nervous system. Neuro-respiration, when you change your respiration consciously, you are changing your neurological impulses, and they are differently, they are changed, and whole body energy pulsates differently. But how did that happen? Through your breath. But then how does your breath operate? It's connected to your moods, your thoughts, your feelings. But if you cannot change your thoughts or feelings, change your breath. So thoughts and feelings were affecting the breath, and breath was changing your neurological impulses, and therefore you were feeling the victim of your moods, of your thoughts. Instead, change your neurological impulses by changing your breath. And whole body will begin to change. And when body changes, the feeling changes. The feeling changes, mind changes. Do you understand? When you feel good, that is why yogis, they discover the master's technique. Every time you stretch, you are also changing your breath. Have you noticed that? You cannot stretch without changing your breath. Did you notice that? Did you? Yes. And every time you change breath, you're changing at another subtler level in your body. And when you change your mind, you are even going to a subtler level in your body. But ultimately, it's all happening at your body that gets stored there and that's reflected in your emotions. So your breath is your neurorespiratory perception, interaction changes your perception, changes your feeling, therefore perception changes. Your whole world is shaped by the way you perceive it, not in the way it is. That's why you feel different at different times, because your perceptions are changed. How did they change? By suppose something happened and your mood got changed. But something had happened before that changed your mood. So if you know that, then change your mood, not according to what something happened in the past, but how to change that is now happening in the present. How do you change it? Go to breath. And when you change your breath, guess what you change? Your nervous system changes, your heart changes, your heart rhythm changes, your lung changes, your brain and nervous system, they all get changed. And it reaches out to every cell in your body. Every cell is an entity. And you destroy so many entities that are giving you life every time you get frustrated, angry, self-rejecting, blameful, shameful. This is, you don't know, but that process goes on automatically. So this is why I have seen amazing changes. Like I just sat there. I came early because I thought it was my satsang day. So I'm glad that I thought that way, because it was my birthday and it was satsang day, but mentally I didn't remember. So I came exactly at 7 o'clock and somebody didn't come to call me. I said, oh, they forgot. But I didn't know, I forgot. See, that's how everything changes everywhere, all life. So you forget. Every day, every time, about everything, you forget that you are creating what you are seeing, what you are hearing, and who you are interacting with. You are creating it every moment. There is nothing else but you everywhere. So if you are neurotic, you create neurotic conditions to reappear in everything, everyone, everywhere you go. Automatically. It's given. It's a universal law. It's not something I change or you can change. You cannot change that. Therefore, you just change you as a perceiver. That's all. That's the only problem. Everything else is secondary manifestation. That's why you are here. That's why you live here. If you don't focus your attention 100% on this, you're just going at a caterpillar rate in the right situation. Just make up your mind and practice it 100%. I mean, who's preventing you? Just not doing that. That's all is preventing you. Once you do that, you will catch every time when your mind is impurities in your body, your karma body are manifesting through your mind. When you catch, you purify it. You don't let it go in that area. Your mind is purified, your heart is purified, your energy is purified, you have connection to the higher power. That little bit counts, because every time that little bit adds more, it gives you more self-confidence. You are in perpetual self-rejection. How? By saying, so-and-so did it to me. Self-rejection. I am no good. I failed. I didn't do right. Self-rejection. And every cell in your body listens that. That's why some people get autoimmune disease. And we are creating it all the time, killing cells that animate our life with all those thoughts, impure thoughts. So what are pure thoughts? Pure thoughts are in harmony with reality as it is. That's it. When you accept what is as is, you have a pure mind. When you hold somebody else responsible to make you feel bad, you are again going where you are just developing such kind of experiences that has no empowerment in you. You are just the victim. Everybody else is doing, things are doing to you, government is doing to you, traffic is doing to you, food is doing to you. You are lost. Nothing is doing to you. So for your longevity, and more than that, and quality of your life, you have to learn what I'm talking about. Because you are creating every one of your experience as a magician. Like it doesn't exist, you just create it. Every one of them. There is nothing that you experience is just happening out there. It's all creation. This is my birthday gift to you. Thank you for accepting. It has no wrapping or a nice postcard or a nice quote from somewhere. This is direct. My birthday, give a gift to you. And everything I give to you is gift to myself. So I thought you thought I was talking to you. No, I'm talking to myself. Everything I tell you is for me also. Yes, it's a message of the soul. You wouldn't be here if you weren't ready. But if you are ready and you're just making indecision ready, halfway ready, that's what I'm talking to. You're ready, but not quite clear, You're going the other way, then you come this way. Then you go other way, then you come this way. Make sure that you don't hold your surrounding, the work you do, people you work with, anybody causing you any unhappiness. Take back your power. This is your power. This is God in you. That is purity in you. That's a divine in you. That's what you are coming back to. That's my intention in my life. And you are receiving something that I have worked so all my life to discover. I deliver you the essence of it. I have distilled it and distilled it and distilled it. And that's what I'm sharing. If you have ears, you can hear. But if your ears and your eyes are filled with past dreams and desires, it's very hard to listen. That is called purification of mind. Empty your mind of all expectations. What is that? Of all the dreams. So you can hear what is said. Or when your mind is empty, when people are angry with you, you can hear the energy field from where it comes. And you will also see the soul behind it. And you know, energy field is only temporarily shaped by their past, and because you have bypassed that past, therefore you can bypass their past that is coming through as anger to you. You don't buy into it, you go to the background, the omnipresent presence in them. Now you can see soul in them as you have seen soul in you. So it's a practice. What you want to practice within, you can practice without. Becomes a wonderful, joyful interaction in life. This is not a very hard discipline. This is a joyous play. This is not difficult discipline. I mean, how wonderful it feels to remove the illusions that destroy your peace of mind and all relationships. I mean, what is better than that? That's a best of the best game. So play this joyous game. Dance with it. You can share now a little bit.
Happy birthday, Gurudev.
Thank you.
Jai Bhagwan. As you were talking, it just reminded me the moments in my life where I am being conscious and I am saying the world, I'm the creator of the cause, as you would say. Mm-hmm. And something wild happens and I look at the universe and I say, really? How in the world did I do this? Like, it's really like I just stop, I look around and I'm taking responsibility for it, right? It's my perception, but it's like, how did that happen? And those moments are they're just so crazy. And the only thing I can do is either get spun out and, go away from this is my stuff, it's the world stuff, or I can just stop and breathe and just keep watching. It's like those are my two options in that moment. And it feels so much better when I just stop and breathe and keep watching.
Right. Yes, if you just breathe, watching will take over. Mm-hmm. Observation will come back, rather than criticism, judgment, analysis, all this. You don't need to do that. Just shift to the breath, and then naturally the mental and emotional agitation will dissolve, blame will dissolve, shame will dissolve, work did it to me will dissolve, people did it to me will dissolve. You will be in the open space where the objects of thoughts, feelings, and emotions are not filling it up. The space is, our consciousness is like space, big space. And thoughts, feelings, and emotions, when we are so completely crowded that there is no stillness or peace, it's just like all your empty space, the consciousness, is filled with junk. Nothing else. You cannot move around there. Because mind is just like, when that happens, that is like going from anxiety to depression to suicidal. Means no space for you to do anything to change what you feel, which is called completely out of life. So you don't want to go there, completely out of life, because you have no space. Do you know when you are in conflict where two people live closely to each other, they said, give me a little space. I mean, they have plenty of big palace, but go live somewhere else. I'm having so much conflict with you. So what is that space? That space lives in you, not with the other person. That person may move out, but you will fill the space up right away. Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing I wanted to share was about what you were just talking about. The other day, Abai and I were walking over to the house to peel some wallpaper, and the day before, the peeling of the wallpaper was very tedious, and it seemed like it was going to take 2 weeks to get all the wallpaper off the walls. And as we were walking, he seemed a little stressed out from my perspective. And I looked at him, and I was like, I don't want to see him as stressed out. I want to see the light in him and him as relaxed and at his full capacity. And I just made a decision to see that. And then we went over to the house, and the wallpaper just came up almost effortlessly. And both of our moods just completely shifted. It was really, really amazing.
This is what happens every time for me. Every time I change that perception, that first perception comes as I am programmed. But if I don't peel it off, the whole wallpaper, it could be just peeled off all at once. But you think it's a lot of work. So that perception is like a very hard adhering wallpaper. Not takes weeks, it takes a lifetime. So it is a beautiful way to really perceive life and see how well it works every time. It never misses a bit. So practice it and see it for yourself. Then don't abandon it ever. That's the thing.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for teaching yourself and sharing that with us.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
I am the first learner. You are secondary. And I have no control over what you will retain, what you will practice or not. But what you practice is a great delight that inspires me to be here. And for individual like you, that keeps me here. Otherwise, why would I come in the morning? I can do my sadhana, but for me, this sadhana is a better sadhana than sadhana that I do in my room. Even though I do that, there is portion that is necessary. But the real sadhana is when I transmit what I want and I listen to what I give you, which happens simultaneously. Do you know one of the greatest power in all the Vedas is all the mantras are affirmations. They are prayers. Because mantras are done as affirmations. And those affirmations, when I teach to you, I see instead of saying affirmation, I'm completely at peace with myself as I am involved. Instead of saying that, I say the same thing in different words. For you and for me. And if there are 20 listeners, it becomes 20 times as powerful for each one of us. Did you know that? Like it's repeated 20 times. How powerful that is in a group. So it has a tremendous power. And so I want to inspire you to come here every day in the morning, every day, and be at work from your heart, from your soul, and just do what you do instead of doing something that you like, so you will be total. How many times have you done that and deceived yourself? So this is called working from the source, trying to work by finding a right work, right person. It's self-deception. You can change as much as you want. Can't you see other people who have so much facility to change all that because they have money? They can change all that and still they are not happy with what they have or where they are working or where they are living or what they are doing or who they are with. How many examples do you know and you see before you change yourself? Because ego says you are unique. They have all made mistakes. When I get money, I'll choose right things and I'll be happy with it. This is where a collective unconscious is stuck in this level. And you are the souls who see that. And you have made life changes to be here, but don't be in a lukewarm way. Let the heat come so that it comes to 100 degrees, it becomes vapor, and that's a vertical ascension. Not until then. If you keep it lukewarm, As soon as it gets hot, you come back, or you find different job, or a different way justify it, or blame somebody, or reject yourself. That means the heat you reduced. Let it get hot. And so when it comes to 100 degrees, when your mind cannot handle, you will truly give it to God, not until then. But all along the way, you have to learn how to let go. Even when it gets hot, emotionally, psychologically, physically, interaction-wise, don't worry about that. And as soon as that hot you handle with consciousness, it gets hotter. Hotter means more melting the ice. Ice is like a physical body. Water is like mind. And when it becomes vapor, it's like consciousness. It rises. So heat does all those things. And that is digestive heat. And digestive heat is just not the physical digestion of the food. This is called digesting unreality. Every time you are angry, that's unreality. When you have the power to digest it, you have become a superhuman being. You are a magician. That is the power of consciousness. So do that. That is called transformation of energy. Yes? Where did you transform? Did you transform another person? No. You transform it in yourself. Yes? Okay. Anybody else?
Jai Gurudev. I just appreciate the simplicity of the teachings and the way you explain it, like how purifying is breaking reactive patterns and breathing, and how simple it is, because it's difficult. It can be difficult to practice. So I'm grateful for the simplicity of it. And
it's so difficult to practice if you try to change external situation alone without changing yourself. Right. And there are needs to change external situation, but first thing is to change yourself. Yes.
And I've just noticed how much I've changed by going beyond the likes and dislikes through the seva. So when, there's some seva I like, some I don't like, or whatever it is in that moment, just aligning with it and using the practice to relax with it and break the reactive patterns. It's just amazing how much that does purify and clear. So as I experience that and know it works, it makes it even easier to keep the commitment and, to keep going on that same path.
And then it's not a commitment, it's a joy. Like, wow, can you see how much nuisance you removed for yourself by doing that? And every time you will see how uncomfortable it feels to judge somebody, to be angry towards somebody because they did wrong things. How about you being angry, doing wrong things to yourself? Work on that first rather than they being angry and you work on them to change it. See, does it require genius to understand this? Do you have to be a Nobel Prize winner to understand, the scientist to understand this? Common sense. Common sense. People don't have it. And you have it, but you again forget to use it. Like you have a cash and you want to change it, you want to buy something, but you forgot you have a cash. You have this, you already know this, but why don't you use it every time you are stuck? Release it by using this consciousness. That's what I'm saying. And purify your mind. Purify your heart.
Can you talk a little bit about willpower? Like, does it come from both the ego and the soul, depending on which one's dominant at the time? And I'm thinking
willpower is like your deliberate intention.
Okay.
your mechanical habit patterns, mechanical reactions that are on automatic, what interrupts is called your deliberate commitment for integrative intention. Do you see? Sometimes people say, give me a little more time, I would think about it and my intuition will guide me. I said, would you please stop that? Your intuition is not functioning. You're so caught in indecision, fear, addiction, and you're depending on intuition. No, go to the intention and let that guide you. So establish willpower. That is what I'm talking about. Willpower can be understood better in the way I said.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I'm trying not to eat so much sugar, and I had cheesecake yesterday.
Right. If you eat too much sugar, this will mess up your mind so bad. No, really. That's what I mean. Purification of diet is so important.
Yeah, that's
So I just eat hardly any sugar or salt anymore, because that is what the chemical imbalance in the body introduced through the food. Just like chemical imbalance introduced through emotions. That's even worse. It's just like you can eat a whole box of ice cream and you won't be so depleted of energy as when you get upset with your lover. Instantly.
I think that'll help.
Because it creates, how much chemical imbalance it creates, that's what it depends on.
Right.
And it depends upon the intensity of obsession, addiction, attachment, all that, and the fears that go with it. Yes.
I think that'll help a lot for me to just look at it as an intention instead of I shouldn't have sugar, but have it be an integrative intention. I think that'll make a big difference.
And
Thank
also
you.
see how it affects you, and then change it by the effects, not by the discipline, by seeing it. Like, see, when you are think angry thoughts about your work or about people, how it feels, then change it will be better than you think you should not be angry.
Right.
No, that's not sustainable.
Right. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. We'll chant Om together. Establish your intention to be very vigilant, alert about any thought that enters your mind and triggers your emotions. You put your consciousness as a guard that guards the gate through witness, rather than, and it keeps all the reactive perceivers out of the gate. Jai Baba.